friends. Well, I had a nice vacation. It was a bit of a break. I went to the beach and was there for about 10 days. It was beautiful. We practiced our social distancing to a T, so that was cool. We made sure we wore masks, and we went to areas that were not very crowded. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do some artwork today that's inspired by the beach. So I took a picture of this ocean, and I'm going to try to replicate it here. Part of me says to try with pastels. The other part says to try with watercolors. So I think I'm going to do a combination of different things because I really enjoy those things. So let me sketch it out first and see how it goes. But one of the first things I'm going to do here is I'm going to take some tape and tape off the sides. So let me just pause this and we'll do a little hyperlapse. Okay, so I have it taped off on all sides, and if I use pastels or watercolors or anything really, when I finish coloring it and drawing along the side, the whole thing and coloring, once I peel off the tape from the side, then I will have a nice fresh border. So masking tape is great. I'm going to use my little pencils here on my eraser, and I'm going to simply look at a picture that I have from my vacation and try to emulate that as best I can. I'll try to keep it a little bit simple for you since a lot of the viewers are younger, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I usually don't have a ruler with me because I'm not really huge on straight lines all the time, but I can't seem to find the ruler I have in my house. They work well, but I'm going to use this piece of cardboard, and that is going to help me section off some areas of the horizon lightly of the ocean. So I'm just going to lay this not quite halfway, but a little bit, maybe almost halfway here. I'm going to lay it up here, and I'm just going to lightly draw the horizon here because my sky will go up there. And then I'm going to come down a little bit, and very lightly the ocean waves are kind of coming in at an angle, so I'm going to slightly angle it here, and a very light line will go at this angle, and this will be where I'll keep my wave curvature. I might even add, because this here is very thin line right here, and this is where the darker waves will be. Okay, so you can kind of see it abstractly looks like an ocean. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to very lightly sketch some cloud formations off to the side. There were very few clouds this day at the beach, and they kind of just spanned all the way across and just became a little bit lighter and faded into the sky from all the way here, like so. There was one tiny little puff, very skinny puff over there. And here we had some dark waves, but what happened with these waves was a little curvature here, almost cylindric, which would be like a cylinder. So on this line, I'm just going to lightly make a cylindric shape that I will eventually flesh out to be more wave-like. And over here, I'm just going to kind of make a curve because the waves actually were breaking in two directions at that point back here. So I'm just going to go out and I'm just lightly plotting where I want some wave formations to be. Very lightly plotting it out. And they actually curved in, and they just went all the way across. And then there'd be another little dip here. Some dropping waves that would curl up here, and then it would go across like so, and then there'd be a little angular here, and then it would go this way, and there'd be another little dip here. It would go this way, and then it just kind of ebbs and flows. No real straight rhyme or reason, because they were flowing. So now that I have the basic shapes, I'm going to show that they were kind of dancing and flowing a little bit better. Underneath. And as I do this, I will think of the waves and how they were frothy and white. Just make them a little bit more wave-like, bumpy there. And then come out a little bit more and do a slight line here, because it's all really about different colors at this point. It's the same color, just different shades. So, and the white. So we just kind of dance here, and we'll just close that there. We'll make it skinny because it becomes another little frothy section. And then here we have a little bit of froth forming there. A lot of sea foam, and kind of right below this line is another very distinct gradation of blue. So it goes from dark to lights to green, so it's a very beautiful ocean scene. And what happens is it's ever changing according to where the sunlight is, what kind of clouds they have. One day the ocean will look brown even, but it's really clear when you get in it. It's because of the sunlight and the way it's hitting it. Sometimes it'll look completely blue, like as you can see. Well, you can't see in this picture because you're not looking at the picture. It is turquoise in areas and dark green in others, and it's just a beautiful atmosphere. Okay, and then if you see, we come down even more. The waves are getting a little bit bigger because of perspective. We're gonna curve here. We're just gonna add the froth, and it's gonna come off to the side. And add a little up here, because this is where they become a little more defined. And then they curl up. And you see a little bump here, a bump there. And all of this becomes frothy goodness. I'm just going to come down here, and I'm just going to make another dip here and cut off there. So let the waves go that way. And somewhere out here is where we start just kind of, waves just kind of come out to the tip here, and they're just very flat and a little bit foamy though. So we can add those foamy details, register it along here in a way that you can recognize that. And even down here the waves go this, and they become even more flat as they touch the sand, and then they become sandy colored and taper off. So what's going to happen now is This is going to be a sky blue with some white that I will add later. Back here, it's going to be a darker bluish green, and there will be different colors that I add through here. These will be more of a white and light blue. There's going to be a lighter blue here, and then gradually I'm going to start blending colors, and it'll be more of a turquoise. And as it comes up here, this becomes more of a white, also with little nods of pink and green, and just foam, all in different angles and colors here. This is where it will become more pinkish and orange due to the sand, and this is the sand at the bottom. So what I'll do is I will take my colors, and I think I'm going to go with the watercolor pens, and I'm going to collect a variety of the blues and the greens and the pinks. There's going to be a lot of fun colors with this, and there will be a lot of blending, as you can see here. Sometimes my viewers are always asking me which colors they should use. Now, I am open to anyone using any type of colors they enjoy to use, because that is their artwork. And I would rather people try something new than just always copycat. But for those of you who need a little guidance, I'm going to take a variety of shades of blues, as you can see here, a variety of turquoises, if that's even a word, greens, and pinks and oranges. It is going to be a sunny beach day. And these are my brush pens. So let's just take a look at that for a moment. And then we will move to hyperlapse. I'm probably going to have to use a white, maybe a white acrylic pen to go over some of these, or a colored pencil. All right, so let's hop to it. I believe this is summer session number 4 or possibly number 5. It's good to be back. Okay, so there we have it. We have our little beach scene. I decided to go with the watercolor brush pens. And I took a acrylic paint pen and did the foam to do that. And the tape, I had forgotten that I had used multimedia paper, which was not the watercolor paper I'd hoped. So I realized once I started painting that I did not switch my paper, but I think it's okay. It kind of ripped off some paper here, a layer with the tape, but that's all right. I'm sure the colors would have looked and translated better on watercolor paper, but I am pleased. All right, so that is lesson number 4. As you can see, we started with the sky. We went a little darker blue here, and I started fading in some greens and blues and blending. The sand kind of comes together when the waves hit and cross over. And then we just have this nice arrangement here. And that is pretty much it for today. So, thanks for watching. Peace. See you next week.